Hi Flosstube, it's Baloney Stitches again. I actually don't think I ever uploaded my first video yet. I'm still trying to edit it so that I can put in my cross stitches that you didn't get to see. But I don't think that's going to happen because I can't figure it out and I don't have the patience and Google is not being kind about it. So I might just put links in at the bottom here so you can see them if you're interested. If you're not, no big deal either. They're not amazing. They're not cross-stitching, world-changing. So I have some time before I have to go to a baby shower. So I thought I'd give you an update. Hopefully I have put on my first video so you can see where I was. I wanted to give you WIP updates. I wanted to give you kind of my dilemma with DMC. And I wanted to do the Know Your Needle Worker tag because I'm new and thought it'd be fun. So first of all, I gave a shout out to Pam's Crafty Corner in my first video because I love her because she's like really comforting for some reason, like very like I lost my mom when I was 20, so anyone who has any kind of like motherly vibe, I just am drawn to. So she did a crochet along. Not to be creepy, she did a crochet along, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that too. So on Black Friday, I actually went to Michael's and I bought yarn and a hook and whatever I needed, and I started doing it, and it wasn't for me. It was fun. I might pick it up again, but I don't know. It wasn't as satisfying as cross stitching. It wasn't like I don't know. I just didn't. It wasn't for me. Whatever. I might give it another try, but who knows? I don't really know what's going on with my hair here. Anyway, so if you didn't watch my first video or if I never uploaded it, I'm doing my very first full coverage piece. It is of the Jaws poster. It's still on my Q-snap frame here. I'll take it off. I had a page finish. I think I might have had 2 page finishes actually since I did the video. I don't exactly remember where I was in the first video. And I'm not going to take it completely off my Q-snap because that's, actually I will because you can't see it. So the lighting in here is really bad. I'm really sorry. You can see like the little space heater we have here. By the way, if you have cats, my cat loves the space heater. When it's plugged in, she lays right in front of it and she doesn't leave it. Most cats like to be warm anyway, but whatever. So here is this, and I got all the way to the bottom. I can't, this is weird backwards. There we go, sorry. I got all the way to the bottom. There's his little eye. It's a little shark eye, and it's kind of the beginning of him, and then kind of looks like blue camo, which I don't like, so I'm hoping once it's all done it looks more like water. But yep, and then I have all of this side done. And then I started the little W up here. This is like a crew or whatever it's called. It's pretty boring. And you can't really see it because of the oatmeal color of the thing. But here's the beginning of the W. And then the person is down here and it's really big on the pattern. So I'm really excited because I'm hoping it'll be big and you can see it and it's not like all messed up. It seems to be stitching up nicely so far. So I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm hoping you can like see it and it doesn't look like a big blur with like teeth. So yeah, there she is. I'm really excited. I have another WIP, but it is my work WIP, and I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't planning on doing this video because I didn't think I'd have alone time. So I don't have it. It's like a little Norwegian they say deer, but I think it's technically an elk. And my boyfriend would want me to get it right because whatever. He's pretty cute. He's got little snowflakes in him and stuff. It's kind of boring. It's only like this big, and I like stitching the red part of him, but I don't know. I got over it. When I am done with it, I'll bring it. And then my next work project. My sister has a cat named Rooster. And she's black and she has big green eyes and she's the sweetest freaking cat on the planet. She's so sweet and she's so beautiful. So I'm going to make her a little ornament. I got a little hoop like this big and I'm going to put Yumi and Rue and like maybe some little snowflakes and stuff. So I'll show you that when I'm done with it. Sorry, it's a Red Bull because I have to go to that baby shower. So that was my WIP. Talked about my other WIP. Talked about my upcoming projects. Okay, so also, I don't have the stuff in front of me because I wasn't planning on doing this. It was very, whatever, it was very spur of the moment. But I have decided that I'm going to do Death by Cross Stitch because I've seen multiple people do it and it's so pretty and it looks so much fun. So I bought the cloth for it. I bought 18 count Aida. I've never stitched on 18 count. There was this part of me that wanted to do 25 count linen for it, but I don't know, I got scared maybe. This is my first full coverage piece. It's going by pretty quickly because I only have one WIP. I don't have multiple things going, so I just started that in September, the end of September, the beginning of December. So just a couple months, and I mean, I'm almost halfway done with it, so that's exciting. So I'm going to do Death by Cross Stitch next. I bought this like really dark green floss for it. I love green. My favorite color is green and purple. I didn't want to do purple because I thought it'd be kind of obnoxious. I kind of wanted to do dark blue because I also love dark blue, but I don't know. But I wanted to do like dark blue on like bright white, but I chose oatmeal, so it's like kind of the same color as this cloth, and dark green, and I'm really excited. I haven't bought the pattern yet. I was going to, and then my work best friend, she was like, stop buying stuff for yourself, and she kind of alluded to the fact that she was going to buy it for me, so I decided until after Christmas, I'm not going to buy anything for myself, whatever. As you can see, I already kind of started decorating for Christmas. I have my garland up. I love Christmas time. So, I also have a Peter the Rabbit pattern that I'll show you one day when I'm more prepared to do these videos. So, I have a Peter the Rabbit one that I want to do for my sister, so I think I'm going to do Death by Cross Stitch and Peter the Rabbit at the same time. I want to buy an 11 by 17 Q-snap, a new grime guard, and a new needle minder before I do two at the same time. But I'm going to do two WIPs at the same time because I think, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Just because Death by Cross Stitch is going to take a really long time, I feel like. And I don't want to get bored. I don't know. We'll see where it's at. We're going to see where it's going. Right now, I'm still working on Jaws, and it's probably going to be until like March or April when I get it done. So we'll worry about it then. Oh, okay. My dilemma, my WIP problem. I'm kind of mad at DMC right now. I really don't want to be, but I am. So this pattern calls for 3 colors. It actually calls for 5 colors that are only available in a big pack of like 12 colors. And the pack is like $13 at Michael's, and like usually you can get a 50. Oh, it just got real dark in here. Oh, it's because I didn't move my computer screen. You can only buy a pack of 12 of them, and it's like $12, and you can usually get like a 50% off coupon, but that's $6 for 5 colors. So that's like double the price of what you would normally pay. And also, I'm getting all of these colors that I don't need. So these ones are like 3891, 3895, and 3884, I think. Okay, so those are only 3 colors. But still, that's like less colors than I need. If I needed like 6 of them, I could understand spending that money, but I only need 3 of them. So I'm a cheapskate, and I didn't want to pay that much money for 3 colors that I need. And I need like 6 of them. I need like at least 3 of them because there's a shit ton of these colors. Excuse my language. So I looked all over the internet for these colors to just buy one skein or skein or whatever you call them, and they're nowhere to be found. I looked at every shop I could think of. I looked all over the internet. I looked everywhere. So I emailed DMC. And I was like, look, man, I've been working on this project for a long time, for 2 months. I've put a ton of hours into it. I need like 3 or 4 skeins of this color. I need 3 of another color. Can you please help me out? Can you like even give me substitutions of colors? Like give me like, hey, this color matches that color almost, whatever. They did nothing. They emailed me back and they said, they're not sold individually, sorry. Like maybe look at some of our coupons. So I was kind of mad because they didn't help me at all. Their customer service is not the greatest. So I'm kind of in a quandary. I found a couple of sorry, I can't, I'm pretty blind up close without my glasses. I found a couple substitutions of colors. So like the blue one that I need 8 million of, I can use, I think it's like $8.99 or $8.90 or $9.99 or something. So I guess that's just what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just, I really don't think you'll be able to tell. These 2 colors are so similar. After working on them for a long time, I can tell they're different colors, but honestly, I mean, I guess you can kind of tell in the pattern too, but like it's these 2 colors. Or no, it's not. It's, what color is it? It's this like greenish blue color right here. So when the floss are just next to each other, and not on the pattern, you can't tell the difference between the colors. When you're on the pattern, you can. I think I'm going to be the only one who notices. So, whatever. Honestly, I think that I'll be really happy finishing a full coverage piece. If it doesn't work out exactly the way I want, then it doesn't work out. I'm not going to throw a fit about it. But I will tell you that I am still mad at DMC because that's kind of a crappy thing to do. I got more help from my fellow stitchers on the internet than I did the DMC company. And you know what? I still love DMC. Their floss is amazing. It's so nice to work with. They have beautiful patterns. We got in a war, and I did not win. Fine, whatever. Moving on. DMC, I still love you. I'm just upset. I'm just disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. So, we'll see where that goes. It's really all I have that's cross stitch related. I wanted to do the know your cross stitcher or know your needle worker tag. So here we go. Where do you live? I live in Idaho. It is not Napoleon Dynamite, Idaho. It is not. I live in northern Idaho. Southern Idaho is kind of deserty. It kind of looks like Southern California. It's very, there's a lot of dirt. It's kind of hot. It's hotter than northern Idaho. Northern Idaho is beautiful with lakes and pine trees everywhere and mountains and rivers. It's basically Canada. We're like 4 hours away from the Canadian border, so it's basically Canada. And if you ever go anywhere past like Montana, people think you're from Canada. I don't hear it. Other people do. Whatever. You also can't tell people in big cities that you're from Idaho because they don't know where Idaho is. I went to New Orleans like 5 years ago, and I told the cab driver, like, oh, we're from Idaho. And they go, oh, Iowa? And I was like, no, Idaho. It's like 6 hours away from Seattle. And they go, oh, they don't know where it is, which is fine. We like it that way. I grew up here. I moved here when I was 4. It's really hard to leave because it's so pretty and it's still kind of small. It's gotten way bigger in the past 20 years. Like, there was nothing here when we moved here in 1991 or 2. And now it's a lot bigger. It's really safe. Well, it used to be a lot safer, but it's pretty safe still, and it's really hard to leave. But honestly, I think the boyfriend and I were talking about moving when we're older because I'm not sure how much longer we can stand the snow and the freeze because it gets really cold here in the winter. It's colder to other people than it is to me because a lot of people here are from California. Like my boyfriend is from Southern California. He's from the Mojave Desert. So when he first moved here, it was too cold. He hadn't worn pants in a really long time because it was so hot where he lived. He only wore shorts. But you get used to it pretty fast. But the snow, excuse my language, is kind of a bitch. It's just, you gotta wipe your car off every morning, you gotta scrape the windows, you gotta wear boots everywhere, you gotta put on your scarf and your mittens and your jacket, and I can't see both of us doing that for the rest of our lives. So, one day we might move. It's not today though. It's gotten a little more dangerous, and the reason I know that brings us to the next question of where do you work? I work at the courthouse for the county. I'm a judicial assistant to a judge. Really, it just means I'm a judge's clerk, basically a secretary. It's a little more in depth than that though, because you go to court. People get me confused with a court reporter. I'm not a court reporter. A court reporter goes in and they type every word verbatim with shorthand. I do not do that. I take notes. Who's there, what's going on, whatever. So the reason I know the town has gotten more dangerous is because of that job. People at first are like, oh, that's an interesting job. It's really not. We only do misdemeanors. It's a lot of DUIs. It gets pretty boring after a while. It's really administrative. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful for my job. It is a good job. I have benefits and retirement and insurance. I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. So anyone else who has their bachelor's degree in psychology, you feel my pain. There's not a lot you can do. Especially in my town, it's really small. So, there's not a lot of opportunity. I want to go back and get my master's degree in public administration. One thing about me is that I really need to be stimulated intellectually, and my job just doesn't do that. At first it did, because it was like the law, I had to learn the law and how it works, and it was new and it was interesting, but after a while it was just really, it's pretty boring. It's a lot of, basically my job is to send paperwork out. So, whatever. So, that's that. Third question is, do you have kids? I do not have kids. I have a cat, and she's adorable. Her name's Milena Bowler, and she's the most adorable cat on the planet. I'm almost 30, so I get asked the question a lot, are you going to have kids? I don't know. To be completely honest, I don't really like kids that much. I love my boyfriend's nephews and niece. They're so cute and they're so nice and they're so well behaved. But I'm not a huge fan of children. Anyway, but I have a cat. She's adorable. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, Simone Bologna, it's actually Simone Bologna. There's pictures of her on there, and she's so cute. I don't know where. Oh, she's sleeping under the couch by the heater. I told you, she loves the heater. She loves this thing. Anyway. The next question is, what are your favorite, I think, I didn't write them down. I'm sorry, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. My favorite movies. I'm kind of a movie buff. I love movies. And my favorite movie is tied between a movie called Shag, and it has nothing to do with Austin Powers. I promise it's about, it was made in the 80s, I think, and it's about these 4 girls who are like 19, and they're from the South, and it's set in the 60s, and they take their friend, who's getting married, they take her to Myrtle Beach to like party, and I love it. I love that movie. That's actually where my cat's, name came from. One of the girls' name is Milena Bullard, and they always yell at her, Milena! And if you know my cat, you know that she's constantly doing something she's not supposed to, so I'm always yelling at her. So it's between that movie and Goodfellas, because I am in love with Ray Liotta. Young Ray Liotta, so sexy, and oh my god, I love him. And that movie, I love gangster movies, and that's the epitome of a gangster movie, so it's between those two. I also love this cartoon called The Chipmunk Adventure, and it's the chipmunks and the chipettes, and they go on a race around the world, and it's a cartoon, and I love it. I could talk about my favorite movies all day long, but it's between those. My boyfriend and I actually go to the pawn shop like every weekend and get movies from there, because you can get them for $1, but don't tell people, because I don't want people in my area knowing, because then they're going to buy movies that I want. So we watch a lot of movies. They're mostly comedies. And right now, I'm trying to buy up all the Christmas movies because I love Christmas. And I only have like 2 Christmas movies. Anyway, moving on. Favorite TV shows. I'm only 30, almost 30. So I was really young when this TV show came out, but I am obsessed with The West Wing. I love it. And let me tell you why. Because I'm in love with Rob Lowe. I love Rob Lowe. He's so sexy. He is so talented. I love Rob Lowe. And I love politics. When I was younger, I watched C-SPAN all the time. Now that I'm older, I can't do it. It's too much energy. But anyway, I love The West Wing. I've watched it like 4 times. I'm going to start watching it again because I started listening to this podcast called The West Wing Weekly, and it makes me want to watch it again because they talk about like every episode, and they have like interviews from the characters. I love it. I love The West Wing. Martin Sheen in that show is the most amazing president ever, and I wish he was our president, and I wish the whole staff. I wish Aaron Sorkin was the like White House administrator because he's amazing. Anyway, people are really surprised when I tell them how much I love The West Wing because when it came out I was like 4. But I started watching it because I saw Rob Lowe was in it. And then after the first episode, I was like, this is the most amazing show on the planet. And it really is. If you don't know it, it's amazing. Also, I love Allison Janney. She plays CJ Craig, and she's just hilarious and she's amazing, which brings me back to another really good movie called Drop Dead Gorgeous, and she's in it. And Kirstie Alley is in it, and Kirsten Dunst is in it. And it's hilarious. It's a mockumentary. Highly recommend it. Maybe I'll recommend like a movie per Flosstube because I have a lot of them. And that's kind of all we do. Also, I love The Office, and I love Park and Rec. Another one of my favorite TV shows, though, is 30 Rock with Tina Fey and Tracy Morgan, because I love Tracy Morgan, and Alec Baldwin, and I love Alec Baldwin. So, Alec Baldwin, like Beetlejuice Alec Baldwin, so much different than today's Alec Baldwin. It's just like two completely different people, but he's so amazing. I love his energy. Anyway, I recommend 30 Rock. It's weird and quirky, dorky, but it's good. I like it. It's kind of like a TV show about Saturday Night Live when Tina Fey like runs it. It's really good. It's a good show. Also, I love Arrested Development. That's an amazing show. It's very intelligently written in a funny way, and you have to follow each episode to like understand the next episode, but I highly recommend putting your time into it because it's very good. Okay, moving on. Favorite books. Also very hard to answer. I used to read a lot. I'm very picky about books. It has to intellectually stimulate me. So I cannot read what I call intellectual smut. Like, I'm probably going to make some people mad, but I tried to read Twilight, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. It was terrible. It was terrible writing. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I couldn't do it, though. I also couldn't, 50 Shades of Grey, also bad writing. It's bad. It's intellectual smut. So, I do love Harry Potter. But one of the reasons I love Harry Potter is because I grew up with him. He was the same age I was when the books came out. And so that's more of a emotional smut. But I love Harry Potter. It's just close to my heart. But anyway, it's strange because I was thinking about this question and I was like, I don't really like science fiction. But two of my favorite authors are science fiction authors. I love Ray Bradbury. I love him. For the last year, I read Something Wicked This Way Comes. Oh my gosh. I've never had an author captivate me the way he does. His words and his imagery and like the way he just, it's like he's describing things and it's just like blossoming on the page. It's so beautiful and interesting and I loved it. So I read everything he wrote in a year. It took me a while. He writes a lot of short stories and I don't really like short stories, but I read them anyway because I love him. So I love Ray Bradbury. I also love Kurt Vonnegut. I've read everything he's done, which is kind of a lot. He has a lot of like unpopular books, but they're very good. And he uses a lot of the same characters in different aspects. And Kurt Vonnegut is just like, he's so funny. And it's like a very dry humor, which I don't usually like, but he's just such a good author. Like, he hits me in the feels. He hits me in the heart. I also love John Irving. He wrote like Cider House Rules. And he wrote The World According to Garp. And he wrote another book that turned into a movie that was popular. And I can't remember what it is. I didn't like it. I remember that. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll let you know. But he's a very good author. I find myself, I can't read two of his books in a row though because he's very descriptive, and there are moments where I'm like, I need you to get on with it. But he's a very good author. Cider House Rules is an amazing book. It's very sad, but it's also very, very good. It keeps you reading for sure. I'm currently trying to read Catch 22 by Joseph Heilig, I think his last name is. It's very hard because there's like 70 different characters and I can't keep track of them. But I'm trying, and I'm also stitching a lot, so I just stopped reading as much, and that makes me sad because I love reading so much. I love it. I always have. I love the library. Like, I wish I owned a library and I could just live in it for the rest of my life. Okay, moving on. Other hobbies besides cross stitching? I really don't have many. I like reading. I really want to get a sewing machine because I want to sew curtains and I want to sew grime guards and I want to sew clothes and I want to make I kind of want to make a tablecloth and I want to make place settings for the table. But that's not yet, and that's gonna take a while. My grandmother was an amazing sewer. She passed away a couple months ago. But she sewed all of my Halloween costumes, and they were so amazing. One time, me and my best friend and this other girl we went to middle school with were the three witches from Hocus Pocus. My grandmother did an amazing job. And she hardly ever used a sewing machine, and people were really surprised. They were like, this isn't a hand stitch. And it's like, yeah, it is, because she's that amazing. So I want to get really good at sewing. Anyway, current hobbies. That's about it, actually. I don't have a lot of hobbies. Before cross-stitching, I had no hobbies besides reading. I really like puzzles. I like putting puzzles together, especially during the winter time. Winter lasts for like 8 months here, so you gotta find stuff to do. I was not ever into this before, but my boyfriend got me into it, which is shooting guns. And I live in Idaho, so you don't have to have a concealed weapons permit to conceal a weapon. You don't have to register guns. You can buy guns off Craigslist from whoever you want. You can sell guns on Craigslist to whoever you want. They love their firearms here. And I was never really into that. I never understood it. But my boyfriend did. And so when we first started dating 3 years ago, he took me shooting. It's fun. It's very fun. It's cool. You feel good when you do it. I understand it. I totally understand it. But also, I have a much different respect for them now. I understand the power behind them, and I understand, what they can do in the matter of seconds. So I think it was good for me. But sometimes we go shooting, like in the spring or in the summer. We'll go out to like a land. There's tons of places that you can like shoot. And it's fun because we have competitions, and I usually beat him because I'm a better shot. The first time he took me shooting, he was like, it's kind of scary how good you are at that. And I was like, yeah, that's right. So that's we do that sometimes. We sometimes go on hikes. We go swimming a lot during the summer because, like I said, we only have there's 2 months out of the year that it's hot enough to go swimming. And so we'll go in the river because the lake is full of children and geese and ducks. So we go in the river where it's clean. That's about all the hobbies I have. I don't have a lot of hobbies. We spend a lot of time watching movies and shopping and spending time with family and cleaning. I clean a lot and decorate a lot. I spend a lot of my time at Michael's. A lot of time at Michael's. Anyway, the last question is one word to describe yourself. I couldn't really think of a word to describe myself, but I think my word would be loving. I'm a lover by nature. I just, don't get me wrong, I actually don't like many people. I'm one of those people. It's like I don't like anybody until you give me a reason to like you, because it's a lot of energy to like people. It's a lot of energy to have friends and have people depend on you and whatever. Once I do, I love you wholeheartedly, and I will do anything for you. And I'm slow to warm. I'm slow to warm. A lot of people say like, I didn't like you at first because I didn't think you liked me, and it was like, no, that's probably because I didn't. But I don't know. I'm actually very nice, and I'm actually very loving, and um, I don't. I think maybe part of it is I'm shy, but not really. I don't know. My mom was like loved everybody, but whatever. I'm rambling. So that's basically it. It's the beginning of December now, so I'm hoping that in January I can do another one. Maybe I'll have 2 page finishes on Jaws, maybe, and I'll show you maybe 2 finished objects. The ornament I'm making for my sister and the deer. Maybe even another one. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's it for now. And just I hope you have a stitchy day, and I hope you had fun watching my video, and I hope I didn't bore you too badly, and I hope you keep watching, and if you are still watching, I thank you, and yeah, and I want to thank you for being here. This community is amazing. I've learned so much from all of you that I just can barely contain myself. So, till next time, see you later.